Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a really fantastic bridge course put together by Dr. Jinali Patel. It's all about foundational English and communication skills. You know, it's so easy to look at grammar and vocabulary as just this dry, boring set of rigid rules we were all forced to memorize back in school. But what if we completely flip that script? What if instead we looked at language as a super powerful, dynamic toolkit? A toolkit we can master not just to pass some test, but to actually build meaningful relationships, collaborate, and project absolute professional credibility. Let's get into it.
To kick things off, Dr. Patel actually uses an interactive poll to ask her students a pretty fundamental question. Why do we really need language in our lives? I mean, is it just to share our feelings and ideas? Is it to pass down stories to the next generation? Or maybe to work together and solve problems? Well, what's really interesting here is the answer. It's all of the above. Language isn't just one single thing. It's basically the ultimate multi-tool for human connection.
So here's our blueprint for today. We're going to cover 6 steps. 1. The purpose of language. 2. Formal versus informal contexts. 3. The building blocks of grammar. 4. Tenses and helper modals. 5. The power of efficient reading. And finally 6. Dream big and persevere. Section 1. The purpose of language. Why do we speak or write? The crucial thing to remember here is that language isn't just about the words themselves, right? It's really about what we're trying to achieve with them. Literally, every sentence has a function. Maybe you're informing a colleague, trying to persuade a client, or just expressing how happy you are. For example, if your goal is to ask for info, you'd use specific tools like, "Could you tell me?" But if you need to make a polite request, you'd probably reach for something like, "Would you mind?" Recognizing the actual function behind the speech, that's what gives you control over how your conversations turn out.
Moving on to Section 2, Formal versus Informal Contexts.
Context changes absolutely everything. Take a look at this. On one side, we've got a super casual cafeteria chat. Virat says, "Hey Hardik, what's up?" It's relaxed, he uses short sentences, a bit of slang, but then look at the other side, a formal office interaction between a student, Mr. Patel, and Dr. Jinali. He says, "Excuse me, professor, may I have a moment?" Notice how the vocabulary elevates, the structure gets a bit more complex, and the articulation is super precise. It's the exact same intent, getting someone's attention, but it requires totally different tools depending on the room you're standing in.
All right, Section 3, the building blocks of grammar. I absolutely love this quote from Dr. Patel's course. Just like buildings need bricks and cement, sentences need different types of words to make sense. It really takes the fear out of grammar, doesn't it? Think of nouns and verbs as your essential bricks, the people, the places, the actions. Then your adjectives and adverbs are like the paint and polish that give those bricks some life. And prepositions and conjunctions, they're literally the cement holding the whole structure together. Every single word has a very specific job on the construction site of your sentence.
Section 4. Tenses and helper modals.
Tenses are like time machines for your verbs. I mean, how fun is that concept? It's such an engaging way to look at it. When you master tenses, you can essentially travel through time, communicating exactly when an action happened, whether it's a completely finished event, an ongoing habit, or a promise for the future. Let's look at the basic time machine settings. Notice how a single action shifts across the timelines here. For a completed action in the past, we use the simple past, right? He visited Paris. For a fact or a habit happening right now, we use simple present. She reads every day. And for something waiting for us tomorrow, it's the simple future. We will go to the beach. It's just a subtle little mechanical shift in the verb, but it completely reorients the listener's perspective of time.
But you know, grammar isn't just about time. It's heavily about nuance. In the course, Dr. Patel uses this awesome AI-based activity to teach modals, which are basically these little helper tools. Picture this scenario. Your friend looks sad. Check out how the AI generates totally different responses just by swapping out one single helper word. You should talk to them, give some gentle advice. You could offer to listen, it's just a possibility. You might invite them, feels like a fairly weak suggestion. But you must be there for them? Wow, that completely changes the sentence into a strong moral obligation. One tiny word changes the entire emotional weight of what you're saying.
We also have to think about who's actually driving the sentence. There's a massive difference in emphasis between active and passive voice. Take the active voice. The dog chased the ball. The subject, the dog, is doing the action. It's direct, it's energetic. Now look at the passive voice. The ball was chased by the dog. Suddenly, the subject, the ball, is passively receiving the action. Knowing when to put the actor front and center versus when to focus on the object is honestly a master-level communication skill.
That brings us to Section 5, the power of efficient reading.
The source material here makes a great point. Reading is an active mental journey, not a passive one. Efficient reading is huge because it saves you so much time and really boosts your retention. An inefficient reader? They just read word by word and get distracted super easily. But an efficient reader sets goals, spots the main ideas, makes connections, and pulls out that core meaning incredibly fast. They aren't just consuming words, they are actively constructing knowledge.
If you want to practice this, here's a highly actionable exercise you can literally do today. It's called the headline scavenger hunt. Just pull up a news website. For exactly 5 minutes, do not read the articles, just scan the headlines. For every headline, try to guess the main idea of the article in just one sentence. Then, go ahead and skim the article to check your accuracy. This is basically a workout for your brain, training it to quickly extract core meaning and spot important info at a glance. It's a fantastic way to become a much more efficient reader.
And finally, Section 6, Dream Big and Persevere. The course material wraps up with this really beautiful, evocative imagery. The example of day turning to night and into day again best illustrates the fact that nothing in this world is permanent, including success and failure. You know, building these foundational skills, it takes time. You're going to stumble with grammar, you might misread a room's context, or struggle with reading comprehension. But if you're going through a tough time, you just have to keep persevering until the tide changes. All your effort in building these communication bridges is absolutely going to pay off.
So as we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with one final thought. Are you ready to turn the page and let your journey begin? You've got the architectural blueprint now. You know the purpose of language. You understand context. You've got your grammatical bricks and cement and those time machine tenses. So take this incredible toolkit, step out into the world, and start building your own success story. Keep learning, keep practicing, and thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.